So hello, happy Thanksgiving everybody. Trying to give you guys a chance to raise your grade a little bit, get this 800 XP assignment done. So hopefully you're ready with your data sheet open, okay? Everything from phase 1 mathematical modeling, open that up so that you're ready to go. And let's explain what we were doing again, right? We have a medium assignment. This video is for the medium assignment. If you want the mild assignment, go back and watch that video that I posted a few days ago. Okay, this one is going to have you create columns for Madrid, Barcelona, and Spain. Okay, so we're going to add the populations of these three different columns. And then we're going to compare the graphs to the total Andalusia by making some graphs. So this won't be too hard once we get our data in. So let's understand what we're doing so that we can, wrap our heads around the problem again. Andalusia was this region of southern Spain that was made up of 8 provinces, right? Everybody studied the different province, and as we look here, we can see it farther out from space, right? We can see that this region is Andalusia, and that it's not too far away from Madrid, which is in the center of Spain, and Barcelona is over here on the east side of Spain. So if we can understand what happened to Barcelona and Madrid, which are some of the biggest population centers of Spain, along with Malaga, which is like the 3rd biggest city in Spain, we've done a pretty good job understanding how Spain grew throughout the last couple of 100 years. So we're going to continue this process by going back into our data table, and because we had everything from Andalusia, we don't have to do anything there. We're only going to need this column today because we're going to compare Madrid and Barcelona in Spain to that one of Andalusia. So notice that you're going to need some numbers into Madrid. So what I'll do as an early Thanksgiving present for you guys, I'll give you guys the data for Madrid. Okay, so go ahead and take this, enter it in. But for you to get the full credit on this assignment, you're going to have to finish the Barcelona column and you have to finish the Spain column on your own. Okay, I'll give you guys a couple hints, and I'll add the link to that data for Spain in a second right now, right? So what we're going to do is just understand what's happening first of all. If I want to enter my data, let's say I want to enter this one, the next one that's blank, right? Again, take a screenshot of this, work with the tab next to your other YouTube tab open. That way you guys can go back and forth and maybe enter the data while you're watching the video, and just zoom in so that you can see what you need. Okay, so like I said, enter in this row by hand. You have to do this on your own. And then Barcelona, you have to enter these by hand also. But at this point, you're going to have to go look up this data, and I'll try to show you guys where to look. So the first thing I want to see is what year would this go with in row 13. If I want to enter the row here, let's go look at what row 13 is, right? If I slide all the way to the left, I can see, okay, it's 1950. And so if I come back, I'll have to constantly go back and forth, right? When I get this next one, I'll say, okay, what year was that? Let's go double check and say, okay, that's 1960, right? So if I don't want to do that, there's a technique called freezing a column that we can do. So what we're going to do is everybody highlight your column A and then go to view, and then we're going to freeze that column. Okay, and now what's happened is when I scroll to the right, we'll see that this is not going to move, and that one column will be frozen. So now we can see what each row is for Madrid, and now I can see, okay, like this row is 1950, 1960, 70, 81, 91, and 2001, and so on, right? So again, you guys want to enter numbers into these columns, right? You want to get this column should be full. So what's the number we're going to use for 1950? Well, we got a couple different places to look for that. In this case, I'm going to give you guys this table. So this will be the place that you start. So you might want to pause this video right now, and I'm going to give you a place where you guys can enter in the data by looking. So it's not going to be copy and paste, but you will have to get them in there somehow. So either pause the video, open the video up in a tab like this, right? And then you can put this tab next to your spreadsheet. And if I was over here, then I would be able to maybe go back and forth and enter in the numbers that I need by looking at them, if you see what I mean, right? So just do that. Get your tabs next to each other, get it set up so that your work can be quick. So after you get all those numbers put in, your Barcelona column will also be done. So then you'll need to enter in the numbers for Spain, right? So what I'm going to do is send you guys to this site that has a graph for Spain, and say that I wanted to start with this 1842, right? So what I can do is go here and look up the year 1842 and see what this goes to. It says 14.1. So that doesn't mean 14.1, but notice that over here on the sides it says population in millions. So that stands for 14.1 million. So let's go enter that number in together. So we'll do 14.1 million for 1842. So 14.1 million is 14,100,000. So that will be how you enter in that value. And so again, you just go so on and so on, right? We get 1860, and then I go here and look for what it was in 1860, and I can go add in that value, which is 15.6. So here I'll put in 1,600,000. All right, 15,600,000 is what that means. So again, just keep going. Fill out all of these rows, get them full with data, and then you'll be ready to finish up the assignment. What I'm going to do is add a link to these two, to this set of data, specifically into this assignment. That way you guys have the ability to just jump to it. So notice it's going to be right here in the assignment. I'm pasting the link right there. Okay? So again, this is Spain, total population. Okay? So use that one to help you out. That link will be useful. So now that you have that, you guys can finish up your work. Okay, so I'm not going to get all the data for you. You guys have that. You guys can complete this assignment on your own now, but what I do have to show you is how to make the graphs, because it might be a little bit more tricky than last time. So let's highlight these two columns. And then I'm going to hold control down because I want to also highlight Madrid now, right? So we're going to end up comparing Madrid to Andalusia with this graph, right? So we're going to go to Insert and then Chart. And then we'll notice that something's missing. We only have one graph, and it's not a scatter plot either, so let's go change it to a scatter plot. Okay? And then don't forget all the things that we did before, and to customize, we'll want to do again. We'll want to go to Series, and we'll want to add a trend line, and then we want to use the equation, because that's where we're moving in this class. We're going to be using equations a lot. So let's go back to setup, though, because again, like I said, something's missing, right? So notice right here that we have the year is the x-axis, and that makes sense. Like the x-axis shows the year. So the series is what represents the y-axis, and that's really all the series means, is this data right here. So we're missing, again, a row. So what we want to do is we want to click Add Series. And when we click that, we want to click this little box to add the data range. So click this little thing that shows the table. And now what it's waiting for is, again, a range of data. And so let's look at this column P of Madrid. So we want to add in column P. So we do P1, and then we do a colon, okay? And then we put the last one, which would be P18, notice, right? So this starts from 1 and goes to the 18th row. So if I put P1 to P18 and click OK, that's going to add this column to our data, to our chart now, right? And so this should give us the graph that we need now. So if I scroll back to look at our graph, look what we got. We have our two graphs. We can see that they're somewhat parallel, right? But they got a little closer right here. Notice that it looks like Madrid started to grow a little faster than Andalusia during this period. We can see a huge jump up, right? From about 2 million to more than 4 million. And that happens really quick in less than 50 years. And we can see that Andalusia might be much bigger, but it just didn't grow as fast, right? So this is an interesting thing, and we'll have to connect that with the other graphs when we add them here, right? So your next challenge would be, let's add the next two graphs on there, right? We'll have to add Barcelona and Spain. So what you would do in that case would just be hold control and then get all of these. But again, you can't insert the chart until you have all your data inserted, right? So once we do have it, we would have something similar to this that I'll show you right now. Okay, we'll end up having a chart that would be something kind of like this, where we would have the Andalusia compared with 3 other graphs. So if I go insert the chart right here, let's see how it looks when I do a scatter plot. Okay, and notice that the x-axis is the year, and we can see here everything that we want, right? We can see that Andalusia is growing at this rate, and that our smaller graphs are these smaller regions of Almeria, Cádiz, and Córdoba. None of them really grew very quickly, and so we see that they add up little by little to the whole Andalusia, but that each of them is, small on their own. So again, that's what we want. Okay, instead of having these Almeria, Cádiz, and Córdoba, we would have Madrid, Barcelona, and then all of Spain, and we'd see them all in one graph. And I'm not going to show you what that would look like, but I'll tell you what it would look like, right? It would look like that. Let's see, 4 graphs on the same graph. So again, finish these columns, Okay, and then what you would do, once you have those columns finished, would be that you would highlight the year and Andalusia, and then you're going to go back here and you'd highlight also these three, okay? You'd have to increase the data range and deal with all of that, but you go to insert chart, and hopefully you would have everything you needed at that point. So I hope this helps out. It's 800 points to get this done. So again, enter the data, and the Barcelona data you guys are supposed to copy by hand using this picture that I'm giving you right now. So just go ahead and take this. I guess I might be able to save this image for you and post it to the assignment also. So good luck with this. I hope that this helps you out. Get that 800 XP.